Finally, it's time to do a Gen 5 run. It's strange that I haven't done one yet for so long since it's actually my favorite generation. I have a lot of fond memories playing Black the day it came out. Today, however, I decided to beat it with the Unova Zubat, Woobat. Ignoring evolutions, Woobat is far better than Zubat. I mean, Psychic is just so much better than Poison, and it learns some pretty strong moves. Still, that doesn't take away from the fact that it's just a Woobat. We're still going to be really frail and weak, and in a generation with a ton of really strong new Pokemon, I really think this is still going to be very hard. Of course, as always, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Alright, let's do this. I start by replacing Snivy with a Woobat for no real reason since none of the starters will have an outright advantage. This is also a good time to mention that I'm not going to be covering most of the rival battles besides the end fight since there are just so many of them and they're all really easy. Like, imagine having to battle your rival 12 times in Gen 1, but each battle, his team only levels up like 2 times. Yeah, that's basically the situation here. So right away, I have to do some grinding. N has a Purloin, and my only attacking move is Confusion, which means that I have to get to level 8 to learn Gust. This is leading to a problem that I'm really dreading in the future, and this is probably why I haven't done a Gen 5 video yet. You see, in Gen 5, the way that experience is given is different. Instead of being a fixed number, it scales depending on your level compared to your opponent's level, meaning that the higher level I am, the more painful the grind will become. Anyway, since N doesn't have any dark type moves at this level, he was a breeze. And I guess if you want an example as to why I'm gonna exclude most of the rival battles, take this Bianca fight as an example. I really only think it's worth talking about it if the battle is actually somewhat difficult or important, but if it isn't, I'll just skip it. Believe it or not, I'm actually worried about Chili. His Lillipup is a 3-shot and has Bite, and when combined with a workup, it's doing about half my health. I did equip an Oranberry, so I did take it out, but I was low for Pansear. I used Confusion a few times, and oh, I confused him, and he hits himself the same turn, so I win at 1 HP. Wow, that was too lucky. Before I can make it to Lenora, however, N challenges me, but he was really easy. His teams are still just the local unevolved Pokemon, so they really couldn't do that much damage. Alright, Lenora time, and okay, 1 shot by takedown. To be fair, that was a crit, so let's try again. I try again, and I make it a little farther, but with my defense lowered, Herdier brings me to 1 HP with a takedown, so yeah, I'm gonna need to grind. Like, a lot. One thing I do like about Gen 5 though is that they sort of compensated for the new curve by adding Rustling Grass, which often contains Audino. Or is it Audino? I don't know. I retry the fight at level 25, this time with Air Cutter. I use Confusion on Herdier as its takedown does half my health. I take it out, but Watchog's just gonna use Retaliate. Oh, nope, it's got Crunch. Okay, we have a big problem. Well, let me try again just to be safe. Herdier goes as usual, and then for Watchog, I use Heart Stamp, and it luckily flinches this time, and then I use Air Cutter, and then she just misses Hypnosis twice, letting me win. Well, it would have been cool if you did that the last time. After that, this strange group of fake animal activists decides to steal a dragon skull. Well, I don't want to bore you, so let's just go straight to Berg. So yeah, as expected, Berg was pretty easy. I got the Eviolite to boost my defense stats, which is going to be huge later on, and it definitely made me win. Whirlipede goes down in 2 hits, and then I hit Air Cutter onto Webble, it uses Smackdown, and then I miss Air Cutter the next turn, bringing me to low health. Thankfully, I outspeed Leavanny, so I one-shot it with Air Cutter. Once we make it to Nimbasa City, we take a ride on the Ferris wheel with N. Man, this must be some crazy safe world if we're allowed to go on a Ferris wheel with a complete stranger. Like, is nobody suspicious at all? Right after that though, we have the 3rd N fight. I set up a Calm Mind, then one-shot a Sandile and Scraggy. Darumaka holds on at red health and lands a big Fire Punch, but I take it out and last his Sigilif. Air Cutter does close to half, then he uses Whirlwind. Well, there is nothing I can really do about that, so I just let PETA faint, then accidentally send out Subscribe, which by the way you should definitely do. After all of that, I finish it off with 2 more Air Cutters. Well, that was a weird fight. However, if you think things have been going a little too easy, we're about to hit a huge roadblock, or at least I think. You see, now we have to fight Elisa, who has 2 Emolgas and a Zebstrika, all of which know Volt Switch, a 70 base power electric move that lets them switch on the same turn. I'm a frail, slow flying type, and even with the Eviolite, it's not even close. After about 20 minutes of grinding, we're at level 35. Now, I actually outspeed the Emolgas, so that's great. I set up 2 Calm Minds, but then she just starts spamming Pursuit. I'm guessing because normally you'd switch out, but unfortunately for her, I'm doing a solo run, so she's just wasting time. I'm now able to set up a total of 4 Calm Minds, but Zebstrika still outspeeds and takes me out. Great. At this point, grinding is getting really tedious. The wild Pokemon barely give any experience, and since my friendship is high now, every time I level up, I evolve, so yeah, extra time wasted. Well, I'll try again soon. At level 38, I try again. I do the same strategy of just using 4 Calm Minds and taking Volt Switches, but once I get to Zebstrika, I still get outsped and she uses Spark, a physical move. Oh my god. Now I'm at level 41, so I have Psychic now. I decided to just use 2 Calm Minds this time to be at more health for Zebstrika, and when I get there, I finally outspeed it and take it out with just 1 Psychic. Well, that was interesting. It was either get destroyed or destroy them, no in between for that battle. So I expected Clay to be really hard since he has an Excadrill with a Rock Slide, and that could do some serious damage. I used Calm Mind as his Krokorok just missed with Swagger twice, which was really lucky. He then sends out Excadrill, but my Psychic doesn't even do half. He gets a crit Rock Slide to bring me to 9 HP, so in a last ditch effort, I use Heart Stamp and I get the flinch. That lets me take it out, and then Palpitoad was just a one-shot. Now that was some Wooper run level luck right there. Oh my god. In Chargestone Cave, we get the lucky egg, which is always such a highlight in this game because that makes grinding so much less tedious, especially with the experience curve. After fighting like a million Trubbish, it's time to battle N yet again. He leads with Boldore, so I have to use Heart Stamp first since it has Sturdy. I get a flinch, which was nice. Joltik was a one-shot, and then Clink paralyzed me with Thundershock, and then I proceed to have the worst paralysis luck possible. Like seriously, I got fully paralyzed like 4 times in a row, which was a 0.4% chance. And then even after that, I still wasn't hitting for like 50% of the time, so I ended up barely winning. After that, we have Skyla, but she's basically an easier Winona. On Route 7, I got the TM for Charge Beam, which is a great move for Woobat since it has a 70% chance to raise special attack. I'm not sure how often I'll be using it since it does have a 10% chance to miss, but it's probably staying for a bit. And again, even though I had the type disadvantage, Bryson was really easy, mostly because his Vanillish just used Acid Armor 3 times, even though I don't even have any physical moves, so I got to set up 3 Calm Minds for free. His Beartic and Cryogonal did barely hold on, but neither really did anything to me, so I won without much trouble. After that, we have to do a little Team Plasma infiltration. This part of the game is great for levels, which I'll need since the next gym leader is the Dragon Gym, so I might have some trouble fighting them since, you know, I'm using a Woobat. Alright, well, I'll see you in a little bit after I take out like a million more Watchhogs. Anyway, after all that is done, it's time to fight Bianca for the last time. This actually ended up being pretty close. Her Stoutland did quite a bit with a boosted bite, and then Samurott dealt some more damage with Slash, so by the time I got to Musharna, I was pretty low, and then she put me to sleep, and I thought I was gonna lose, but she didn't do much damage, so I woke up and used Air Slash to win the fight. This has me a little bit worried for the final gym. Well, let's see how we do. Alright, let's see how Drayden goes. I set up Calm Mind knowing that he's most likely going to use Dragon Dance, and he does, so I take it out with 1 Psychic. But then I don't one-shot Druddigon, and it gets in a hard-hitting Night Slash. While he heals, I use Calm Mind again to get the one-shot the next turn. Last is Haxorus, but I misclick and use Shadow Ball, and then he uses Dragon Tail to make me switch to Subscribe, which again, you should definitely do. After a bit, I go back to Woobat to finish the fight. Well, that went a lot easier than I thought it would. Next is the final Cheren fight. He leads with Unpheasant, so I use Calm Mind then take him out after some time since he just started spamming Detect. Second is Liepard, but it outspeeds and does half my health with a Night Slash. Thankfully, I hit my Air Slash and take it out. Third is Emboar, but obviously it's an easy one-shot, and last is Simisage, and of course I miss Air Slash the first time, but I do hit the second time. God, my luck this run has just been so horrible. The trainers in Victory Road gave a lot of experience, so here are my final stats. Yeah, I don't even think I stand a chance against the Elite Four since there was a pretty big power creep with the new Gen 5 Pokemon, but I mean, what's the fun in not at least trying? I decide to fight Chantal first, but I barely deal half of Cofagrigus' health, and then I don't even do half to Jellicent. I know you can fight them in any order, but that doesn't really matter if you can't defeat them all. So yeah, time to grind again, yay! So, after an extremely eventful hour mashing the A button, I try again. Here's how it goes. Yeah, still not working. They only have 4 members at least, so I think all I really need to do is to be able to one-shot her entire team with 3 Calm Minds. Alright, level 66. I used Calm Mind twice and she misses Will-O-Wisp twice, which was a blessing. I use Calm Mind again and her Shadow Ball doesn't do that much now. I take it out and now we're on Jellicent, and even if I don't one-shot, I think I can take a hit, but it doesn't even matter as I one-shot her. Okay, well the battle's basically over now. I finally got the right luck I needed after like 20 tries. Okay, so the rest of the Elite Four should be really easy now, right? Well, second is Grimsley, and yeah, wow, this is gonna be a big issue. By the way, I tried this about 10 times and the outcome was the exact same. I'm not even close to Bisharp yet, who's going to resist me and has dark type moves. I'm getting really worried now. Is this even gonna be possible? At this point, I was getting really worried. The grind is absolutely painful now because of the experience curve, and even with the lucky egg, I'm leveling up super slowly. I took another look at Woobat's move pool again, and I saw that it could learn Swagger, but it's a Battle Subway TM, so yeah, that's not happening. Because of how shallow its move pool is, my only option here is really just to keep grinding. Unfortunately, I have nothing to deal with this Bisharp effectively. I tried the fight again at level 70 and literally nothing changes. I need to be able to one-shot his Crocodile and had decent health for Bisharp. I even tried using acrobatics later on, but without the Eviolite, I don't stand a chance. I'm starting to think that I'll need to be at least level 80 for this fight. Level 74, so what I have to do is use 2 Calm Minds, hope that Scrafty doesn't crit, and then I can safely take out his first 3 Pokemon, granted I don't miss, because Air Slash isn't 100% accurate. Then I need Bisharp to flinch from Air Slash, or I could just get a crit. Alright, moving on, we are not doing that battle again. Third is Caitlyn, but she was easy as I expected. Just 2 Calm Minds, hope that Reuniclus doesn't crit or paralyze, then sweep her team. Well, that was a nice easy fight for a change. Anyway, you'd think that Marshall would be a breeze since I'm flying in Psychic and he's fighting, but you see, he has some stuff that's gonna be a big problem. His Sock has Sturdy, so it can't be one-shot, and also has Rock moves, so we'll have to hope that he either uses some bad moves or he misses, or that I can survive a Stone Edge. Well, thankfully, we can tank 2 Stone Edges, so I managed to win this fight with just 21 HP. So for the final end fight, the game forces you to put the legendary in front, so what I end up doing is just intentionally losing and then depositing it after. I do some scouting though to see how well Woobat can do, and it's not looking too good, but let's still try. So yeah, we have a small problem. Actually, we have a really massive problem. 1 Fusion Bolt takes out almost all of my health. You know, this is what I was worried about when picking Pokemon Black for the solo run. How in the world am I gonna get past this thing? At level 81, I actually do manage to get past Zekrom, although it was only because of 2 flinches in a row, and well, you'll see, we're gonna run into yet another problem. Caracosta. It has Sturdy, and guess what? It's a rock type, so I don't know what to do here. And that's not even considering the fact that we have to deal with Clean Cling after, who's going to resist us and has Thunderbolt. And if you're wondering about Hidden Power, I checked and it was Psychic, so yeah, awesome. This is looking hopeless. Back to grinding again. In situations like these, I would really prefer to use the daycare since it's just so much easier, but I don't know if you guys would like that, so if you made it this far, let me know what you think about using the daycare for final boss grinding in this game. Okay, at level 87, I ended up having the most anxiety-filled win so far. I used Calm Mind first turn since he's pretty much hard-coded to use Fusion Bolt the first turn, and then I get the flinch with Air Slash. I use Psychic to take it out, and next is Vanillux. Psychic is a guaranteed one-shot though, so we're now on Caracosta. I use Air Slash, and it doesn't flinch, but oh my god, Stone Edge misses. Archeops is obviously a one-shot, and 5th is Clean Cling. Now I know it could be his Zoroark in disguise, so I use Air Slash, but it's not very effective, and I get another flinch that saved me. And finally, I'm at Zoroark, but I don't miss, and I win the battle with just 1 more Air Slash. That was pure luck. If any of those flinches hadn't happened, I would have lost. And finally, we have Getsis. I know from experience that his Cofagrigus loves using Toxic and Protect, but strangely he just used Protect 3 times in a row, so I got to set up 2 Calm Minds. Second is Bisharp, and Air Slash doesn't one-shot it, but he thankfully misses Stone Edge. While he heals, I use 1 more Calm Mind, and well, I one-shot him the next turn. And then his Electros is also a one-shot with Psychic, and so is Bouffalant. But now we're at Hydreigon. Is it a one-shot? Yes it is, and with that, we've won. But not just that, we've won at full health. Oh my god. And with that, we've beaten Pokemon Black with just a Woobat. That ending was just so crazy, with N being nearly impossible without some crazy good luck, and then Getsis being a one-shot sweep. This run was definitely one of the harder ones that I've done, and I think the main reason really was because of the power creep with the new Pokemon. Compared to the original Gen 1 games, the movesets and coverage were just so much better, and thus I had a hard time towards the end. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and let me know who you want me to try next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.